reach those arms up, big inhale. Start to tuck your chin to chest and let your head just fall forward, rolling down. Feel the belly lifting in, and you're just gonna start to sway side to side and just be aware of where the weight is through the feet. And maybe even start to push into your outer hips. But draw navel to spine. And then go ahead and soften your knees. And you're just gonna start to roll the spine up, engaging your glutes as you lift. Abs drawing in, shrink wrap the waist, roll those shoulders back, and reach those arms back up. Big inhale. And exhale, roll forward. Abs scooping in. Head falls heavy. This time just shake your head, yes and no. And then soften those knees, roll back up. And stack your spine tall, shoulder shrugs back. Take those arms up to a high V. Good, and now you're gonna side stretch over and let your bottom arm fall. Try not to lean back or lean forward. It's straight out to the side. Abs are pulling in. Reach through your chin towards your shoulder and then come right back up and switch. Over. Good. Gaze turns. Backs of the legs engage as you lift. And one more each side. Up and over. And switch. Good, and then come up to center. Take a big circle of the arms back, opening the chest. Careful not to pop your ribs out towards the front. You're pulling the core in tight. Let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Good, now shoulder shrugs back. Keep your feet hip width apart. We'll grab your weights or your soup cans if you're using those. Good, and you're gonna have your feet hip width apart. Start with those elbows driving back, and we're gonna squat down. Take your flat back, reach those arms back as long as you can, and then bend the elbows in, reach straight up. So it's a bend, reaching out, scoop the belly in as we lift. So it's shrink wrapping the waist the whole time. Think about lacing those ribs together. Good. And you can keep it at a steady pace here and just work on your form. Good. To pick the cardio up piece a little bit, we're gonna speed up the pace. So it's a quick kick, reach, and kick. And loading through those legs so you can get a little lower each time. Really squeezing the seat. Chest stays nice and wide, shoulders back. And throughout the class, we're focusing on your standing posture. We want to keep our shoulders back, chest wide. And breath, big breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, stay low on 1. Kick those arms back to little pulses up. So palms are facing inward, your neck is long, spine is long. Breathing in deep, shrink wrapping the waist. Okay, now flip your palms up, keep pulsing up. Okay, if this is uncomfortable on your shoulders, keeping it really tight to the ribs, you'll just take those arms slightly away from the body rather than straight back. And if your shoulders start to roll forward, you may need to take those arms wide. Now, keep loading those legs up, squeeze your glutes, flip your palms to the floor, same thing, pulse. Good, so shrink wrapping waist. Think about lengthening from the crown of your head, out through the tailbone. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, narrow those arms, and then reach out wide. So inhale, squeeze back, and reach, squeeze, and reach. You're creating your own resistance here, so even if you don't have the weights, imagine you're moving through peanut butter and you have to really slow it down, activate every muscle through those arms. Open your chest, press back, reach wide. Inhale, exhale. If you start to feel this in the low back, draw the core in tighter. Think about a belt on hip to hip. We're tightening that belt. Good, go 3, 2, 1, and hold. Now bend those elbows and reach up. Reset. Inhale, and then exhale, lower, kick back, little pulses again. So first thing we did was palms in. Try not to break the wrist. So you want a long wrist reaching out for your knuckles. Weights even through those feet. Good, and then flip those palms up, keep pulsing back. Wide chest, shoulders squeezing back and together. Let's see if you can narrow the sides of your body even more. Maybe lift those arms up higher. All right, now flip those palms down. Keep pulsing. And check in with the core. Check in with your posture. Lengthen your neck. All right, now pause, palms face the hips again. Reach in, squeeze towards your midline, open wide. So reaching back to squeeze and wide. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So try to coordinate your breath with the movement. If you find a different breathing pattern, do what works for you, but as long as you're breathing, that's our goal. Try to stay lifted through those arms. Go 3, 2, 1. Roll this one, or shoulders back, stand up. Good, and now take a stretch forward. If you can set those weights on the floor for a minute, maybe place your hands down. Good, and then bring your fingertips out in front. Shift your weight to your toes, bend your knees to chest, and then press your heels down as you stretch your hips up. So goal here is to stretch your hamstrings. So at the top of those hips lifting, think about lifting your tailbone up and out. And go 3, and 2. Abs are engaging. Last one, let your head fall, grab your weight, soften your knees, roll back up. And take a big shoulder roll back. All right, now you're gonna come out to your second position, which is wide stance, wider than your shoulders, feet turned out. Good, and then take those arms straight out in front. So soft round of the elbow, shoulders plug back. Bend your knees, open the arms as we lift. So inhale down, exhale lift. Imagine you're sliding down a wall. So you're keeping those ribs strong in, maintaining a flat back, long spine. Inhale, dip, exhale, press. Good, and for modifications, good rule of thumb is always smaller range of motion, so maybe you go halfway down and out. Good. Or you just keep it a little bit more narrow through those knees. But I want you to work on your external rotation, so you're pressing those knees back and wide, going each direction. Find a pace that works for you. You can stick with me, you can slow it down, or maybe even pick it up. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it low on 1. Lift those arms, drop the arms. Inhale. Exhale all the way to the low belly, all the way to the ears. Gonna try to keep it low here. You wanna feel your outer thighs, the back of your thighs, wrapping around the backside. So you can kind of visualize a barbershop pole where they spiral around. Our thighs are spiraling around the leg bones. Coordinate your breath, super important. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, stay low on 1. Stop those arms right in front of your chest. Go down an inch, up an inch, down an inch, up an inch. Good, still squeezing the belly in, narrowing the rib cage. And think about picking up through your glutes. So right where those hamstrings meet your glutes, that's where you want to feel the lift. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight legs come up. Just shift your hips side to side. Roll those shoulders back. Catch your breath. All right, then you're going to fold forward. Feel good moment. Keep your legs straight and just shift hips side to side, pushing through your heels. Keep your head heavy, so just release any tension in the back of your neck. Forehead is heavy to the floor. All right, set those weights down. Walk over to your right leg. Just hold. Think lifting your left hip back, as if you're being pulled from the back to keep your tailbone high. And then let's walk to the left side. All right, adding on to this, walk back to the right side. And then with your left knee, you're going to bend out to the side, taking a side lunge. Come right back to straight legs. Bend and lift. And the whole time, I just want you to listen to your body. Really try to connect mind and body. Forget any thoughts about what you have to do. Starting tomorrow, getting back into work. And if you feel like you just need to hold a stretch, just pause, breathe into it. Now let's take 2 more deep bends and lift, down and up. Pause, come through center and switch. Over to the other side. Side lunge out and up. Good. Inhale, exhale, The more you pull that right hip back, you should feel a deeper stretch through your right low back. Good, go 3, 2, 1, back to center. And let your head fall, grab those weights, soften your knees, roll all the way up, and take a big shoulder roll back. Then I'll bring those elbows out in front in line with your shoulders. Gonna come back into that squat and hold. Open to goalpost arms, squeeze closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Reach, squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Now keep this movement going. What you want to think about is when we open our elbows, shoulder blades hug the spine. They separate as we reach those elbows forward. So I kind of visualize elevator doors. When we open, doors close. When we reach forward, doors open. Good. So visuals always help kind of connect with the movement. So if you think about a different visual that helps you find the movement in your skeletal structure, go with that. All right, hold here, and now reach those arms up. Pull down, squeeze the tips of the shoulder blades. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Take those elbows back and wide. Open your chest. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Bring those elbows forward. Little pulses up. Good. Thighs should be burning here. Push through your heels. See if you can wiggle those toes. If you're arching the back slightly, tuck your tailbone under. Shoulders plug down and away from ears. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Arms reach down. Shoulder rolls back. Take a side stretch up and over. And you can even kind of press into your thigh if you need a little more support there. And switch. Good. Come back to center. Good. Taking your side lunge, or your lunge, you're turning to the side with your right foot forward. And I want you to start to just check where your alignment is. Slight tuck of your tail, abs are pulling in. You want your back knee dropping right under your hip. So you have 2 90-degree bends through those knees. All right, now slightly hinge forward, extend your back leg, stay low through the front leg. Kick those arms back, pull it in. Inhale, reach, and pull. Inhale, exhale, shoulders hugging the spine, narrow on the back. Don't let those ribs flare out to the front, pull them into the body. Strong reaches back. And so you can get a little lower through that front leg. You're pushing through your front heel, squeezing that back thigh. And imagine those inner thighs are trying to pull together, so they're pulling to your midline. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it low on 1. Now, sweep those arms out in line with the ears, palms facing the floor. Pull those elbows back, reach out. Pull and reach, wide elbows, open chest. Try to stay low here. Shrink wrap the waist, put that corset on. And lengthen your neck. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause those arms, bring the weights together, lift your elbows, straighten both legs. Now bend both knees, dip and lift. It's a super active through this back hamstring, where your hamstring meets your glute. That's where you want to feel that lifting, pulling up. Good. Hopefully y'all are already sweating too. I'm dripping sweat. All right, let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it low on 1. Find your challenging spot, get lower. Go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Abs are pulling back. Good, slight tuck of your tail, protecting the low back. And breathe, relax those shoulders. If you feel tense in the neck and shoulders, you can do a little side to side with your head. Hang in there for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now step together. And then we step back, elbows in. Step together, arms down. Step back. Inhale. Exhale. You're pushing through that standing leg. Keep the knee tracking over your ankle. And you can go as low as you want. Maybe you want to stick with the long leg as you step back rather than a dip. Good, go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Step together, hold. Now turn your palms to face your thighs. Strong arms, really squeeze those arms and triceps. You're going to take your left foot back and then start to hinge forward. See how much you can lift that back leg. Maybe it's just a tap. Maybe you can go all the way down, working on your balance. Lift back up. Inhale, strong arms and up. And think you have 2 planks of wood for arms. So if you start to get kind of loose in the arms, it'll throw your balance off. You want those hips to be square to the floor, abs and belly pulling into the spine. Go 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Turn to center, roll that ankle out. All right, then we're going to come back, or turn to the other side. Catch your breath. All right, stepping into your left lunge, so left foot forward, right foot back. Just take a test here. Drop that back knee, see where it is in line. Hips square, hinge forward. Now taking those kicks, we extend the back leg, squeeze and hold. Just kick those arms and bend. Think about the inner thighs pulling to your midline. Reach and bend, open chest. Shrink wrap the waist. And so you can get a little lower. Maybe squeeze your back leg a little bit more. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it back on 1. Sweep those arms to the front. Pull the elbows back. Squeeze the tips of shoulders. And lift. Pull in. Reach out. Fully extend those arms. Squeeze the arms. And you're pushing through that front heel. Squeeze those glutes. Deepen your belly. Slight tuck of your tailbone so the booty's not popping out. Go 3, 2, 1. Pull those weights together, elbows lift. Now dip your back knee and lift both legs. Dip, straighten. Dip, and straighten. Good. Keep that right hip bone pointing forward. So we don't want to open the hips as we lift. We're dropping straight down, shoulders and hips square. And keep driving through that front heel. Squeezing the back seat as you lift. Go 4, 3, 2, coming up on those pulses. Hold it low. Good, find your challenging spot, drop a little lower. Go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. And breathe. Good, plug those shoulders back. And just remind yourself we're getting a ton of stretches after this once we get through this sweat part. Good, so hang in there, push yourself. Go for 4, 3, 2, step together, arms down. Catch your breath. And then we step back down, elbows pull in, bicep curl, and lift. If you can go into that straight leg back, or dip down, get as low as you can. Inhale, exhale. Good. Retract those shoulders. Ooh, keep moving, lost my headphone. All right, go 4, 3, 2, 1. Step together, arms are strong, palms face your thighs. Take your right leg back, just tap the toe. Hinge slightly forward, still pulling abs in. Lift as much as you can, tap down. Inhale, exhale. This is a lot of work for your standing leg. Good, so focus on squeezing your hamstring and glute. Your abs have to pull in to lift you up. Shoulders stay back. Inhale, exhale. Give me 3, 2, and 1. Step together. Roll those ankles out, grab some water if you need it. All right, and then we're gonna come back to that parallel hip width apart stance. Good, hold down low, lift those elbows. Imagine you have two balloons under those arms, shoulders are light. Go down an inch, hold. Up an inch, hold. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift. So moving slow, moving with precision, long back. So if you're arching your back here, pull those ribs in, slightly tuck your tail under. And keep pulling the shoulders back. Focus on your standing posture, keeping it nice and slow. Inhale, exhale. So you can get a little lower, challenge yourself here. You're putting in the time. Let's do the work. Go for 4, 3, 2, speed it up, little pulses down and up. Good, those knees are tracking over your second and third toe. Squeeze the seat. Draw abs in, imaginary belt, hip to hip. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up. Roll those shoulders back. Coming right back down. This time your right heel is going to be lifted. So I'll turn to the front so you can see me. Same thing. Down an inch, up an inch. Starting slow. Down and up. Push through that heel on the floor. Good. Navel to spine. Keeping the alignment of your hip, knee, and ankle. Good. Now little pulses. Quick pulses. Down and up. Little bounce. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. Get low, square those hips. Drop an inch and lift. Drop and lift. Second side's always harder, so push through this. And shrink out the waist, relax those shoulders. Good. Go 3, 2, 1. Pick it up. Little pulses down and up. And keep that heel lifted. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Roll those shoulders back. Flip your palms to the back of the room. Open your chest. Take your gaze to one side. And switch. So looking from the side, hips are pressing forward. Abs are lifting in and up. Ribs close. And so this is a good stretch, especially if you're sitting at a desk all day. Just open up your chest. Take your gaze side to side, stretching our neck and shoulder muscles. One more each side. And then center, shoulder rolls back. And now we're gonna combine those two movements. Gave you a little breather there. All right, can't get this to stay in. All right, so start with your right heel up. We're gonna take those arms back, open your chest, switch in the air, drop to the other side. So you go up and down, up and down. I just reversed those arms, so start over. Arms are up, and then we drop down, bring the weights together. Lift and press back, and down, up, and down. And then you can pick it up, or you can go slow. But try to find a little rhythm. It's a bounce, and lift. Good. If your arms do something else, go for it. Just keep moving. And maybe it's a little bounce up. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Up. Bring your heels together, toes apart. Now focusing on your balance, press the arms back, open your chest. Squeeze the back thighs around and lift your heels. Little lift. Lower the heels. Press arms back and lift, and lower. Inhale, exhale. Imagine you're pulling up through the belly, inner thighs pulling together and up. This is a good place to think about the barbershop pulls. The thigh muscles are wrapping around the back side of your thighs. So everything squeezes to lift. Go for 4, 3, 2. For a challenge, hold your lift on 1. Then reach those arms up to the ears. Stay lifted, reach your arms down. Give me 3 more. Inhale up, exhale down, 2, and 1. Reach up and hold those arms up to the ears. Bring your heels down, hands by your side. Roll those shoulders back. And then you're gonna take your feet to a standard squat position. Weights together. Yeah, just check real quick. I want your elbows to be in line with your knees, toes slightly turned out. So from the side, booty is back. We don't ever want those knees over your toes. That's a lot on your ankles. So sit down into your hips and then lift, open the chest. Squat and lift. Inhale, exhale. We're gonna add that balance challenge here in a little bit. Good, but focus on the hips here. Good, staying square. You're pressing forward at the top. Good, go for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it low on 1, go up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Outer thighs wrapping, heels pressing down, ribs pulling in. Go through your mental checklist from head to toe, working on form. Go 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lift up, straight legs, lift your heels. Drop the heels, arms forward, sit down, and lift. Good, and if that's too much, just go back into your regular spots. Good, inhale, exhale. Then lifting with the glutes, pulling up through the thighs. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift and hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and step down. Good work. Go ahead, set your weights down. Take your legs out wide. We're gonna get another good stretch here. Side stretch over. Press into your outer thigh. Good, abs are drawing back. Take a deep breath here. And then fold chest to thigh. Good, hopefully your hips feel more open than the first time we did this. And then you're gonna turn back into that side stretch. Lift up through T-arms, counter stretch. And really squeeze this long leg on the other side, the side we're stretching, so that you're lifting out of your hips. Turn chest to thigh. And then square back up in your side stretch. Lift to T-arms, fold forward. Take your right arm up. You're gonna look at your right arm, your top arm. Push away from the floor, open your chest. Then send those hips back, pushing through heels, pulling belly in, and switch. Reach up, open chest. Bring that hand down. Do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, roll up, hands come on top of your thighs. Sit into your hips. Take a minute, wiggle those feet out as wide as you can, opening your hips. And then just twist side to side. Maybe get a good adjustment in here. Visualize those abs as a rag. As you exhale, you're wringing out your breath. And inhale. Exhale, twist. Again through center. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Good. Now, drop down to your forearms. If available, you may stick with your straight arms. Just press your hips open wide. Shift side to side. And draw those shoulders back. Now pause here. I want you to tuck your pelvis under, so you're kind of rounding your low back, your lumbar spine, and then stick your tailbone out. So I'll turn to this side. So you're tucking under, extending out. So it's your lumbar flexion and extension. So focusing on just the low back is where that energy comes from. Your abs have to really help to move your spine. Good. All right, do 3, 2, 1, and lift. Good, go ahead, grab some water. We're gonna lay on your mats. All right. Then take your feet hip width apart. And make sure those weights or cans are split on the side of your mat. And you're gonna roll all the way down. Good, now just rest your hands by your side. The closer your heels are to your seat, it's gonna make your bridge work more challenging. And if you need a little more space for if it's just a little more challenging, walk your heels out. And now strong arms are gonna push down into the mat, open your chest. Now start to just tuck your pelvis back. So scooping belly in and release to neutral spine. So in our neutral, you find a little bit of space under your low back, like you're standing up against a wall. In your tilt, you're eliminating that space. Good, but to do that, you have to use those low abdominals beneath your belly button. So you can even feel if they're staying active here, just placing your hands on top. And sometimes when we just touch our muscles, that tactile cue helps that muscle wake up. So it's like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to work. And on a lot of Pilates, that's why we use our hands to reference, like, you know, when I frame the ribs, like it gives you that not only a visual, but the tactile reference. All right, now come back to neutral. Arms are gonna push down into the mat. Start to roll through that pelvic tilt and lift your hips. Pause at the top. Check and see if you have a straight line from shoulder to knee, hips are in line, and then roll back down. Using abs, scoop the belly in and then press those hips up, squeeze your glutes. Roll back down. For a more challenge, you can flex your feet, pressing through just the heels as you lift and lower. That's gonna activate more hamstring. So squeeze and lift, knees reaching forward over those toes. Exhale down. And at the top of your bridge, the weight is between your shoulder blades, not the back of our necks. And 2 more. Good. Last one. Big exhale to roll down. Pull those knees in, do a little rock side to side. And then place those toes on. Inner thighs are all the way together, feet together. Arms are strong. You can even make fists. That's going to activate your tricep more. Pressing the pinky side down. Roll those hips up and pause. Pull the right knee to tabletop. Same leg. We tap down, lift up. If you need to drop that left heel for more support, go for it. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Hip bones stay level. Ribs are pulling in. And working with our breath. Go 3, 2, 1. Lift and hold. Now drop that left heel, lift the heel. Drop the heel, lift the heel. Drop, lift, drop, and lift. Give me 4, 3, 2, 1, and both toes come down. Reset those heels, roll your spine down. Good, shift your knees side to side before we go into the other side. And then we roll right back up, heels high. Tabletop left knee, inhale to tap, exhale, pull up, down, and up. More push through the arms. Work on your stability here in the upper body. Go 5, 4, squeeze that right glute. 3, 2, 1, hold, drop your right heel. Push through the floor, lift up. Drop, lift from the glutes. Down and up. Let's go 5, 4, shrink wrap the waist. 3, 2, 1, and toes come down, roll your hips down. Replace those heels. Now we're gonna switch back to your right leg into kicks. And so we roll those hips up, right leg extends, flex your foot, kick down, point, lift up. Inhale, exhale, reach, and lift. You can make them big, down and up. Or keep it small. For more support on your low back, always make the range of motion smaller. Go 3, 2, 1, lift, bend your knee, roll those hips down, reset, high heels back on, we lift back up, extend left leg, flex, kick down, point, lift up. Inhale, exhale, and if these bridges with one leg are too much, just go back into your single bridge. We can always modify here. As long as we stay moving, keep pressing those hip bones up. Give me 3, 2, 1. Lift up, roll those hips down, bring those knees into your chest, taking a hand on each knee. Try to turn those hip flexors off and just circle the hips open. And so heavy feet, heavy legs, just stirring around in the hip socket. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Start to just close your eyes and breathe. Inhale, pressing the back of the rib cage into the floor. Exhale, start to reverse those circles. Reaching the tailbone to the mat. Abdominals are still supporting here by pulling into the spine. Just relax the hips. Go 2, 1, zip the knees together. Place those feet down. Go ahead and stack your hands behind your head. We're going to find your upper body curl, lifting up to the brow line. Pause here. You want to pull your bottom ribs down to the mat. And then exhale, roll down. Again, inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Now pause, take another breath cycle, deepening your belly as you exhale. Come all the way down. And we add on. So now lift up, reach those arms forward, start to pump your arms. If you want the extra arm challenge, grab those cans or grab your weights, shoulders back. And maybe today you just keep those hands stacked behind your head and work on the lift and just hold the lift. Good. Another modification is keeping the head down, just pumping those arms nice and strong. Good. Think about that belt on hip to hip. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, pause, reach a little further, and then roll the spine down. Good. Now bring your right knee to tabletop and left knee to tabletop. Good, head stays down. We're going to inhale, tap right foot down. Exhale, pull up. Inhale, left. Exhale, up. Good, so you're pulling up with the abdominals. Push the low belly to the mat. Good, option to keep head down or go ahead and come into your upper body lift. So chin to chest, looking at your powerhouse, reaching those arms across the room. Good, go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the knees, reach your arms up to the knees. Do little pulses forward. Good, you can have those hands stacked behind your head if needed. Good, you're pressing into the mat through the low belly, drawing those bottom ribs towards your mat and relaxing those shoulders. Go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your feet down wide. Good, now we have arms up, parallel in line with the shoulders. Curl up, reach through the knees, lower down, take those arms wide, reach outside the knees. So we go back and in, back and out. You can take those arms all the way back to the shoulders or ears as we switch, or make it smaller range of motion if you need the extra support in the shoulders girdle. But lifting first, initiate with chin to chest. Go for 4, 3, 2, hold up on 1, pulse forward. Good. Keep the chin to chest, look at your powerhouse. Press your tailbone to mat, go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach back, inhale. Exhale, sweep those arms out wide. Pulse up, up, up. Deepen the abs, pull those ribs in. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands go straight down to the mat, roll the chest down, take a deep breath. And we're not quite done with abs. We curl right back up. Good, stay lifted. Now side bend to the right, come through center, bend left, side to side. Inhale through center, exhale to bend. Good, press down through your heels. Feel the backs of the legs turn on. Stay lifted to the brow line. See if you can lift a little bit higher through your heart. And go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Center, reach those arms back. Set those weights down. And bring your knees to chest. Reach your arms out to a T. And let your knees fall to one side. Feel good moment. So you can keep these knees in line. So that means a little more stretch through this top hip. Belly's pulling in, shoulders drawing down to mat. Deepen your abs, come through center and over to the left. And doing this nice and slow, just easing the spine into this position and taking deep breaths. Feel like your spine is just lengthening out. Inhale and exhale. Come to center. Bring those knees into your chest. Good. And then rock up to a seated position. Good, you're gonna stretch those legs out long. Good, going into our nice and long stretch series, we're gonna just fold forward, pull those toes back if you can grab them, otherwise just walk as far as you can. But as we inhale, you're lengthening your spine up and forward. Feel your rib cage kind of lift up to the sky, your abs are pulling in, forehead is heavy. Take a deep breath, flare those ribs, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Come all the way up to a seated position. Take those hands, you're gonna stack them, kind of cross them over your chest, fingertips to shoulders. Tighten your thighs. If this is too much on your low back or hamstrings, bend your knees a little bit. Now twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Center, keep going. Think about that rag wringing out as we twist. Shoulders stay back. Good. And try to push into your shoulders. So find that active touch there. If you feel your feet shifting as you twist, that means the shift is coming from the pelvis. And we want to keep your sits bones rooted down to the floor. Lift up, feel like you're up against a wall. And we'll do 2 more each side. Center, twist, last set. Big inhale, big exhale. And up, twist, and center. Take those feet just as wide as your mat. Reach those arms forward. Grow tall with your inhale. Round your back by pulling the abs back. Reach the ears through the arms. So notice my upper back is rounding, my whole spine is rounding. This is different than just hinging forward. We'll get to that one. But I want you to tuck your chin to chest. The upper back rounds forward. Mid back rounds forward. Belly pulls back as if you're pushing into a wall behind you. Try to deepen your breath. Exhale, reach a little further. Now hinge forward at the hips. Stack back up, plug those shoulders back. Try that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round forward. Imagine you have a beach ball in your lap. We're going over that beach ball. And then squish the beach ball. Reach, flex those feet. Stack back up 2 more times. Reach up. Abs pull back. Round, round, round. Hinge at the hips. Forward. And lift. Adding a pulse on the next one. Lift, round. Dive forward. Pulse out for 3, 2, 1. Stack tall. Hands down for a minute. Shoulder rolls back. Do a couple neck rolls here. And reverse. Good. All right, and then we're going to take your hands out to a wide V. So you're twisting to the left. Reach your right hand for your pinky toe on the left foot. You're going to look at your back arm. See if you can press into the outer ankle or foot and help yourself twist a little bit more. And then come back up to center. So inhale through center, exhale, twist. Reach. Find that connection of outer hand to foot and push into that twist. Come back to center. Twist. Exhale, dive forward. And lift. You can add a little bounce there if that helps you deepen that stretch. Little pulse. Lift up. Twist and reach. Little pulse. Lift up. Twist and reach. And lift. And reach. And lift again. And last set. All about the abs, lifting you up. Come to center, bring those hands down. Roll those shoulders back. All right, and then you're gonna take your knees, just crisscross them for a minute. I'll turn to face you. All right, these are some of my absolute favorite spine stretches. Working on our thoracic mobility, cervical mobility. You're gonna take your hands behind your head. Now, rather than your elbows being out in line with the ears, I want you to bring them slightly forward so you feel this tricep muscle, the underarm, wrapping around the arm bone towards the front. But keep those shoulders back and twist to the right. Grow tall through center. Exhale, twist left. And if you're tight in your hips or your low back, it's okay to sit on a couple pillows or even come to standing on this if you are just uncomfortable on the floor. All right, again, each side, and then we'll add on. So drawing the belly in, shrink up as you exhale. Come to center. Now side bend over. And lift. Inhale. Exhale, bend. And lift. Again, up and over. and lift. Good, moving right in line with the hips. So we're not leaning back, we're not leaning forward, it's straight out to the side. Your rib cage opens up, lift up, switch. Good, let's do another one on each side, and then we're gonna combine those two movements. Come to center. Now, twist right, round your upper back, look at the floor. Lengthening the neck, pull low belly in to stack you back up and center. So bend left, twist. Come back to your side bend and lift. So part one, we bend, twist, two. Part three, untwist. Part four, stack back up. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again, each side. Go 1, 2, 3, and 4. Last time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bring those hands out to the behind you as long as you can reach. Open your chest. Good. And then lean back into those arms. Bend your knees. Bring the feet forward. Okay, so you're just taking a good stretch of the shoulders, slightly arching the back, rolling those triceps back. And then bend your elbows, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, scooping the belly in. Now reverse, press back into that extension. And then you can play with your hands here, mine are wide, fingertips face out. And you can take the fingertips facing in. A lot of this just depends on where in your shoulder rotation you're tight. And so you can even try bending those elbows in towards one another, and you'll get more external rotation through your shoulder socket. So big inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Now, lift up just a little bit. We're going to keep those feet flat, but hover your hands. See if you can hold yourself up with the abdominals. And so we're still keeping those fingertips down, but now I want you to bring the right knee in. I can still hover those hands and not fall back. Switch sides. Left and down, right, down. Take a couple more of these. Notice my chest is not falling into my back. You're pushing away from the floor as if your heart is lifting from a string. Good, one more each side. Good, and then lift up, butterfly your knees, fold forward. We're adding on to that, building up to what we call a teaser. We're gonna bend those knees, hands back behind you, tuck your tail slightly. Your modification is to keep your hands down on this one if you need it. Now, slight tuck, abs in, right knee up to tabletop, left knee up to tabletop. Squeeze those inner thighs tight as if you have one leg. Now, extend those legs, bend the knees. The tighter those legs are in, that's gonna be more abs, more challenge. But it's also kind of catch-22. You need to find a sweet spot. If you go too low, that's a lot of pressure on your back. So you can go low for this if you can maintain the abdominal connection. But I think about 45 degrees away from the floor is a good spot. All right, now bend your knees, butterfly those knees, fold forward. We're slowly building up to our teaser. All right, lift back up, hands back behind you. Option to lift your hands on this one. So wait for my cue. We're gonna tuck your tail under, right knee to tabletop, left knee to tabletop. You can stay here and straighten those legs. To take it up a notch, reach your right arm forward. Left arm forward, hold, abs in, even more, lift your heart up. Lift out of the low back, reach your arms to the ears, arms down. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, give me one more, inhale. Exhale, belly in, hands come back behind you, knees bend. Butterfly your knees. Good job, you tried it. Fold forward. And then stack on up. Flip over onto your hands and knees. And we're gonna take a big, juicy cat stretch here. Tuck the tail, drop your head, and push away from the floor. Find your extension, lift your tailbone, and then lift your chest and gaze. Lengthen the back of your neck. And again, tuck, scoop the abs in, push away from floor and round. And extend. Good. So even when we're arching our back, that's your extension. We don't want to let the abs fall to the floor. So your abs are feeling like they're pulling in but still stretching out. And we'll do one more. Round and hold. Now shift your weight back into your low back and then come back up to the top. Do that one more time. Stay rounded. Real big tuck. Belly in. Come to center. Good. Now take your right leg, stretch it straight back. Cross over your midline. Cross that left leg and sit down into your left hip. You can come to your elbows here. We're drawing this left hip back, but actively pushing. I'm going to turn towards y'all. We're actively pushing down through this left shin. If you want to stay on your hands and kind of keep a little more weight in the arms, you can do that. But our goal is to stretch your piriformis, which is slightly different than like a pigeon yoga pose. In that, your shin's more forward, you're targeting your IT band. But put your weight, if available, you're going to put your weight into your right arm, open that left arm, keep pulling your left hip back, push away from the floor, open your chest. Breathe into it. Wherever it feels the tightest, can you push a little bit more into that tight spot and take another breath. Bring those elbows back down, push back to your forearm position, or back onto your hands and knees, and then extend your left leg back. Cross your right leg and sit down into your right hip. So notice my shin is not shifting. You're coming onto your elbows, actively pushing down through this right shin and actively pulling your left hip back. And just breathe here. See me push into that tight spot. Try to close your eyes and just connect with your breath. Feel where you're sending that breath in your body. And if that doesn't really resonate with you, then just try to fill up with as much air as you can. And exhale. Good. Option to put your weight into your left elbow. Open your right arm up to the top. Still pulling that right hip back. Active opposition here through the leg. Abs are pulling in. Big deep breath. Bring those elbows back to center. Push up onto your hands and knees. Good, and then you're just gonna tuck those toes under, lift your hips to your downward dog. Good, abs draw in, tailbone lifts up and out. Good, and then I want you to lift both heels. Pedal one heel down, bend the other knee, and switch. Good, actively pushing away from the floor through those arms, pulling the low abdominals in. We're almost done. Go for 3, 2, 1. Lift both heels. Now bend your knees, walk back towards your feet. Now I want you to just sit on your heels and you can do a little rock back and forth. This is a good stretch for the bottom of our feet, Achilles, calves. And if any of you are like me and you've done a lot of walking on your time off, so you can get tight legs. All right, go ahead and straighten those legs, round the spine up, big shoulder roll back. Stretch your arms up, starting with our side, or ending with our stretch we started with. You'll side stretch over. Let that bottom arm reach to the floor, turn your gaze. It's still pressing hips forward, squeezing the glutes, pulling belly in, lift up, and switch. Chin turns to shoulder. Again, each side. Imagine you're being pulled up through the fingertips and reaching that chest open. One more. Center up, sweep those arms back, and you guys are done. Thank you so much for joining today.